Yo, people, and welcome to another episode of For a Different Lens podcast. I'm your co-host, Joe.
And I'm Jacob.
My brother, Jacob, we're just going to get straight into it. Get me? Serious talks here. Obviously, for people that are not aware, Vinicius Jr. got racially abused by a Benfica player last night, Gianluca Prestianni, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of the pronunciation, 20-year-old Argentinian for Benfica, who has denied racially abusing Benfica, and then Vinicius Jr. and then Benfica have come out with a strong statement, um, basically saying it didn't happen, and all that stuff. But yeah, obviously we haven't spoke about it, but I know you would have seen it. So this is our first reaction from it. And yes, what's your thoughts on everything in general?
Disgraceful, but it's a disgrace, but it never ends. It's
Mhm.
almost like they bring in all these things, kick it out and this and that to get rid of stuff like this, and it never ends. Argentinian, am I surprised? No. Am I surprised? No. He covered his mouth. He knew what he was doing.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, it always happens to be towards Vinicius, and then people then try and put blame on Vinicius for celebrating the way he wants to celebrate and blaming, oh, he's too audacious, he's too this, he's too that. Bro, there's no reason for racial abuse after a celebration for a goal, first off. Yeah?
For
Like,
anything.
because for anything. But if the white guy scored the goal and celebrated the same way Vinicius celebrated, is the same man going to be racial towards him?
See, on that point, someone tweeted, people champion Diego Costa, adored Ibrahimovic, loved Gattuso, thought Vardy's celebrations are shithousery, but it's Vinicius that has done half of what these guys done. That's the arrogant one.
This is it. And this goes back to things that we've known all the time, confidence in the black people is arrogance, and
Mm-hmm.
it's mistakenly made to be something that it's not. But confidence in the white person is, oh yeah, he's just doing it. He's confident. The Tom Brady, Cam Newton comparison, the angry on the sidelines is a good thing. The angry on the sidelines is attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean. You go through these notions in life, and the same thing has been put on with this is one of the world's best players. And for even Jose to come out with his statement, I was a bit because he was one of the managers I'm championing to be on the side of the black players. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he always has been. So it's got me going. Okay, well, so what are your true intentions as well? What's everyone's real intentions behind the situation? And it's been an issue for too long. But for a 20-year-old Argentinian who is new basically to the game,
Mm-hmm.
to be coming out and doing this, it's never going anywhere. And it's always towards Vinicius, and then they always complain that Vinicius is being a crybaby or this and that. Bro, there's no space for racial abuse anywhere in
Mm-hmm.
life. So why do you want him to sit there and take it because he's celebrating and being who he is? I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. And it's another, football always has ups and downs. It's always one of the downs we get every single year in key moments, key times. And it's just disgraceful to see, man. It's just disgraceful. And as much as they put in these schemes, kick it out, they don't want to kick it out
Mm-hmm.
because you would really do something. You'd really, really do something about it. There's no big thing. We always talk about stuff, but there's no action. And that's life, unfortunately. But people just talk. No action is done. And we see situations like this happen again last night on the biggest stage.
Yes, completely agree with everything you said. We'll come on to what Jose Mourinho said shortly. But on like post match, obviously the game was on Amazon. Rooney, Seedorf, and Walcott were the ones there. And Rooney made a point of when he was in the MLS, um, he said I think one of his players at DC got racially
Yeah.
abused. Um and the opposing team. I think the way the rule is in the MLS, if I'm not mistaken, is them whatever player does a racial abuse, their manager's meant to sub them off, and
Right.
the manager didn't sub him off, and the manager ended up getting sacked because he
Oh,
didn't
okay.
like take him out the firing line and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I was like, whoa, that's the first I heard of that. Because I think I even tweeted like racial abuse. Obviously, in the moment you can't verify or confirm, especially in his Prestiani's case, he's covering his mouth. So
Mm.
they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's subjective," or blah blah blah. But like, so I wouldn't say advocate. Say obviously ref sending him off. The ref can't technically do that. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
stuff like that. But there needs to be thorough punishment where it's as to if he's found guilty, which he just looks guilty from covering his mouth anyway. But because if you're gonna do a normal cuss, you wouldn't need to cover your mouth. you,
This is that was my thing.
you
You don't cover
literally
your mouth to say anything that you usually say.
you could call
You
him a
could, y-
stupid prat, a cunt, anything.
yeah,
Cuss,
you could cuss him.
effing, blah blah blah.
You
But
don't
anyway,
do this.
yeah,
You
just going
don't do
back to that.
this. You don't
God,
do this if you don't want to cover up what you're saying.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
quite simple.
So it's either you clubs deduct players' wages. Obviously, the club's always going to back their player or whatever, as we've seen with Suarez, Liverpool. But
Yeah.
deduct wages or can terminate contracts. And I think this is what clubs need to start doing. If it's not already there, I'm not 100% sure. There needs to be a racial clause in every single player's contract now. Because
Mm.
because one, it puts the club at an advantage. If you're paying someone 300k a week, racially abused, yo, half your money, 150 straight.
Not half your money. That's all your money gone. You're sacked. Bye bye. No
Yeah,
sack
yeah, no,
without
but I'm
pay.
just saying, like, that should be the minimum. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like things like because we know majority of the time the top clubs, especially, they're not gonna sack a player, especially if the play, players at top clubs, their values too much to the club, innit? Do you know what I mean? So I'm just being semi-realistic from there needs to be a minimum standard. If some clubs are willing to go all the way in terms of sacking a player, kudos to them. But yeah, that was just interesting to hear Rooney say, obviously, like Seedorf on Mourinho's comments, because just for those that haven't heard or watched what Mourinho said, Mourinho was like, he said he's not going to choose any side of the story yet. He's heard what Vinicius said. He's heard what Prestianni said. And I was like, that's fair, Jose, like, because it could be a he say, she say. But it's then when he continued and said Vinicius shouldn't antagonize the fans and the players. And then he said he also said to Vinicius that Benfica's most legendary player is black, who is
That don't mean anything.
who's Eusebio. And it's just like, oh what? So my friend is black. Do you know what I mean? Like my neighbor's black, all that stuff.
What?
And
Chelsea got a lot of legendary black players too.
yeah,
Their captain was racist at the time.
exactly.
It was the club was, no disrespect, was built off racism. They didn't
Yeah.
like black people down there.
So yeah, it was just again, and what you said at the beginning, it was I'm never ever like I'll never be 100% shocked at something. Do you know what I mean? Because we're in a day and age where whatever. But it was surprising to hear that from Mourinho, and I think again it might have been Seedorf or someone else. They said it was Seedorf actually. He said because Mourinho was in the heat of the moment. Remember, he got a red card in the game, so his temper's up. He shouldn't have just commented on the situation, and it's completely true because he especially he's suspended for the next match, the return leg. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he should have just cut it off at, I've heard what Vinny said, I've heard what Prestiani said, we're gonna do an investigation and just leave it as that. And but then going on to say about Eusebio, about the don't antagonize the players and fans, and he ended it with Benfica is not a racist club. We're like, brother, like that was
Also,
thoroughly disappointing from Mourinho. And I was happy like Seedorf, Rooney, and Walker all basically doubled down on it.
Mourinho saying that Mourinho cannot say that. Don't antagonize the players, the players and the fans, brother. He is the one person that's been doing that for his whole career. Unless he's lost himself in this situation, which he clearly has, you have been doing what Vinicius does before the game, during the game, after the game, in the car park, bro. That's what you do.
Yep.
No one called themselves a special one.
People even
but
love
you.
it.
But this is the thing. But they love it when it's a certain person. Do you get what I mean? And you got to understand the dynamics that we're going through in life as well. You get what I mean? The world is in a mad place. Then you got one man doing this, and then you I know you have to stick up for the club and the player, but you, of all people, who the black players in football, African players as well, look up to. Yeah.
The one that's probably the loved most manager by black players.
Yes. You've gone out and said something so wrong, or something that you do as well, and blamed it on Vinicius. And that's the part I can't get past, the spinning part, spinning to blame it on someone else. Neymar's had the same problems in the past. Do you get what I mean? Um, a load of players have had the same problems in the past. But Vinicius is Vinicius happens so often. It's
Mhm.
so often. Usually it's from fans and not players. You get what I
Yeah.
mean? But this one from the player, as I said before, you do not cover your mouth if you're saying something, that is
Well,
fine.
I mean, if you saw, I don't know if you've seen Mbappe's reaction after, and
Yeah.
they translated Mbappe saying, "You effing racist" to Prestianni.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
That's what he is.
Mbappe even said after the game, he's like, "No issues with the club, blah blah blah, but this kid needs to be banned from the Champions League." And
Champions League, just sack him. Send him back to Argentina, bro. They
but
can be racist
like,
over there because that's built on that country's also another place built off of it. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys do your thing over there.
facts. But it was so positive to hear Mbappe be so strong. Obviously, it's your teammate, but I felt like this is where he shows that he's the more or less face of football. Um,
Yeah.
in terms of not just these moments, obviously he's playing, but this moment kind of elevate like, yo, that I'm
Mhm.
basically the top dog in football. I am going to call this shit out. Going to talk out against some of this stuff. People will say hypocrite in some ways, but we saw it like just say NBA All-Star weekend. LeBron James was asked about Israel. And the first half of his answer was fine. The second half, I was like, LeBron, read the room. Like, come on. And then we had like just people saying that's why we're happy for the likes of, say, Kyrie Irving, Jalen Brown, because
Mhm.
they've always been not afraid to
Advocates of
speak
this.
up about
Yeah.
stuff or give the PR answers. And I was just like, this further enhanced. I was like, do you know what, Mbappe? Credit to you, bro. Credit to you, bro. Because I've always said this: the top black footballers are the ones that need to be like, "Yo, this is our line. If you cross this
Mm.
line, boom." Like, not to say I've ever blamed them, but I've always been slightly disappointed that some of them don't use the platform that they've got in terms of obviously bar Sterling. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
yo, you lot, when this white player and this black player, both ex-Man City players, bought houses, they were the same age. The white player, oh, he's doing it for his family. The black player, oh my gosh, he's spending this much amount at his age, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And it's just like we've seen the subtle racism over the years. Me, I don't really comment on these kind of things too much, but I'm like, nah, like, come on, let's more than enough's enough. And I was even speaking to my dad about it like earlier. We were just talking about like the incident, and I said to him, I was like, even if Vinicius went into the stand and sat next to the fans, he's wrong from a footballing perspective. But even still, that would not warrant racist abuse. Literally, nothing warrants racist abuse if someone hasn't crossed a line verbally or physically. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's
And
just
still
like,
then it doesn't warrant racist abuse. Nothing actually warrants
yeah, yeah,
racial
like
abuse.
Vinny could go into the stand, sit next to the fans, get a yellow or get a red card for that kind of stuff, which is except the cautions and everything makes sense. But even then, still doesn't warrant racist abuse. I was like, people were like, but don't antagon that. Bro, even Rooney said it after the game. Celebrations are part of the game, and that's what we love. I think he referenced Roger Miller dancing at the corner flag, and that's basically what Vinny done.
Mhm.
So,
This is the thing. It's the thing is, I always just blame. There's so many people you can blame, but you gotta actually just take action. That's the main thing. Actions will always speak louder than words. You can say all you want. We can sit here and say all we want.
mhm.
FIFA, the Champions League,
UEFA.
whoever's running all these UEFA, whoever's running every competition can sit there
uh,
and say all they want. Until you make an action towards making change, nothing will change.
Yep.
Right? And that is literally it. You guys need to sit down with the board, with Benfica, with that player, with Vinicius, with all the people on the pitch, right? And say, these are the rules and regulations. You are now banned from X, Y, and Z. You are suspended for the rest of the season. Like
Mhm.
the NBA do when they get into a fight, they suspend them for 7 games. Yeah, racial abuse. You now can no longer play football without pay for the rest of the year. Maybe that will teach you a lesson.
Yeah. It needs to be as
Maybe.
I mean, in the NBA, we saw it with the ownership, Donald Sterling. They took the team off him. They said, "You have to sell the Los Angeles Clippers, bruv."
Yeah, you could keep your money because you made it, but guess what? You have to sell. You can no longer make money from this entity.
Mhm.
And you, my friend, who Prestianni, you wanted to be racist, this season you can no longer make money from your entity. And you know what? Sorry, next season you can no longer make money from this entity because guess what? We need to make an example out of you.
Yep.
Yeah, because you feel that this is correct, we're making an example out of you. It will teach the young Argentinians, young any player coming up. Oh, you want to be racist? Okay, be racist.
Mhm.
But I'm just letting you know, this is the first ban we're giving. The next ban ain't gonna be this. The first ban's gonna be mad. The second ban's gonna be even madder. And after that, we'll see if you want to continue doing your nonsense
Mhm.
because we will ban you from kicking a ball around. We will say you were suspended from footballing in this constituency. You can go and play in the other regions, but in this constituency, under these laws, you are not playing anymore.
Mate.
They just need to come up with something that is harsh.
Yeah.
And when they do, really, really come down hard, and then you'll see change. If you
Yeah.
don't, this will continue.
Yeah. Again, I feel like clubs will find a loophole. This is where UEFA, FIFA, they'll be like, if clubs don't handle, if we feel like the club hasn't handled this situation sufficiently enough, they are liable to interject and then add on sanctions. Do you know what I mean? And
Mm.
stuff like that. For me, should be in putting all players clauses. I don't know I've not thought about it as much, and maybe I'm wrong for saying it, but put all players contracts.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
you're right.
everyone knows there's a standard. Joe, like even if I am a racist, there's a chance that I might lose my job because it
Mm.
happens in the real world.
Because there's very many racists in the real world that won't be racist at work because they know they're not going to get a job anywhere else. They know there's going
Exactly.
to be no income for them and their family forever if they decide to be racist. Do you get what I mean?
Bro, the thing is,
And
like, when these players do this stuff, like, bro, you're playing with black players. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, naturally, you don't have to like someone. You can separate business from work. I mean, work from leisure, all that kind of jazz. But, bro, you share dressing rooms. Some of these players they share hotel rooms to get slack.
you're on the pitch. You're in an industry that is now becoming more predominantly black than it has ever been before. Firstly, yeah. What do you expect? You're playing in the Champions League on the world stage. How many people are going to? You're also talking to one of the world's best players.
Hmm.
You're playing against Real Madrid. Everybody's watching. What goes through your mind?
Mate, bearing in mind Madrid's best players are their black players. So,
Exactly. Exactly. What went through your mind to say that?
yeah, where?
And to think that you were going to get away with it. Did you think you were just back in goals, and even at goals is not acceptable, but you get what I mean? Do you think
Yeah.
you're at goals where no one's recording and you can say what you want and then someone's going to turn around and you guys fight and it's going to be he said, she said? No, you're on the world stage, bro. There's mics everywhere. As
Hey.
much as you think, oh, the mic's picking up the crowd, bro, everyone in some capacity is mic'd up somewhere. Mics can
Mhm.
pick up everything you said. So you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna find a way to get the muted audio to delve in deep into it and find out what he said. And it's better you just come clean today, my brother.
Yeah.
It's better you just come clean today. Because
And
if
it's
you
just
want to
funny.
continue this out for a long haul, the harsher the punishment will be.
No, facts. And it's just funny when, like, for Marines say, "Oh, Benfica's not a racist club." It's like you can say that about every single club that they're not a racist club. Do you know what I mean? And which effectively is true, but it's also not true because every single club has a section of fans that are just totally extreme and that
Yep.
generally are racist.
Yep.
That's just the world we live in. And
Hmm.
like I saw a video surfacing on Twitter this morning of a couple fans. I think they were quite young Benfica fans doing monkey towards the Madrid players. Whether like don't get me wrong, the clip didn't show who else was on the pitch, but it looked like it was in that game last night. I don't know if you saw, Luizao, the ex Benfica centre back, Brazilian.
Hmm. Yeah.
Obviously Benfica legend. He was at the club for about 15 years. He said this morning, supposedly, or last night, "I love Benfica. It's my second skin. You have to be worthy to wear the sacred jersey. This message makes it worse because it's a lie. Football is won with grit, with fight." Prestianni was a racist rat. Yes, I am ashamed of that.
Said it. That he said it. Look.
And I was like, wait, for God, the way Benfica, apparently their officials kicked off after the game last night. Apparently they went to like Rui Costa and that went to the Madrid officials fuming about the whole thing. It's like, well, you could be fuming, you could put out all your statements, blah, 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 all that jazz. But one of the best players in your history, who happens to be black and Brazilian,
Has come
said
out and said,
Prestiani is a racist rat.
"Yep." Well, then that he is, and this is the thing. There's no. We just need people to come out and say what's going on, and then action will be taken. I ain't got no more to say on anything that goes on because if action is not taken,
Bro,
nothing will be done.
all Benfica, even if the club's backing the player, all Benfica had to put out a statement is we're investigating the incident, and that's it.
Literally that. But you wanted to back your man and come out and argue because you're gonna look like idiots. You're gonna look like idiots, and because you want to look like idiots defending your player because you believe he's not a racist. Okay.
Because when he does then get if it's 5 to 10 match ban, which is even light, but if he does then get it, they're gonna look even more stupid.
Yeah, what are you gonna do then? What are you gonna do then? And for him, for the idiot 20-year-old, what are you gonna do in your career now that's making you think that people are going to sign a racist? Because look at what Greenwood did. Greenwood did a mad thing. We understand. Greenwood is never playing back in England again.
Hmm.
Greenwood is going to have to forge his career out in France and elsewhere. He's not playing where he probably wants to play.
Yep.
And for you, Mr. Racist, you're young, probably had a bright future ahead of you. Look what you've gone and done.
Yep. You're not wrong.
Now look.
You're not
You
wrong.
best hope Benfica believe in you to the end of your career. Because every other club you sign for, if you do, you know what they'll be saying. Oh, you're signing that racist. Oh, okay. Oh, the narrative is going to follow you for the rest of your life. And you've made that decision on the football field. And you know what? You're going to have to live with it now. And that's
Yeah.
your issue.
Yeah. And for anyone that will say, "Oh, he's young, he made a mistake," nah, not having that, especially in this day and age. Nah, I
No,
wouldn't have had it 10 to 20 years ago, let alone now.
at
Nah,
20 years old, you're not young, bro.
yeah.
20 years old is 8 years younger than me. 8 years ago, I knew on the full pitch what I could say, what I couldn't say, what I did feel, what I didn't feel. You get what I mean?
And when you're coming to a part of the world, a continent that if you then want to play for an even better team than Benfica, they're going to have black players on their team, the world's best players. Like, keep that shit
Yes.
in Argentina. You know what I mean, bro? Like,
Yeah.
for me,
That's
it
what I
was
said.
just for obviously, like you touched upon, Vinny's faced this throughout fan bases, etc., all that stuff for years. But I think this is the first that I've seen of your fellow professional doing it, and I think that's why players are more disappointed because even if you don't like said player or whatever, I feel like there's naturally a players' union. I say this,
Mm,
and I say this with managers as well. This is why like managers don't like other managers getting sacked because there's a managers' union in it,
hmm.
and there's a unwritten rule in terms of a players' union. Like, yo, there's certain things we're just not crossing that line, innit?
Yeah. And when they're crossed, you then see the outcome.
Yeah, you'll be looked at sideways forever. And again, especially in this day and age. Yep. Sorry, Prestiani. If they need to make an example out of you, so be it.
Hmm.
You get me? But yes, that's us for this. Probably spoke longer than expected, but hey, it is what it is. It's a serious issue, and hopefully, it's something that is seriously dealt with. Because again, there's no room for it,
Nope.
and
Not at all.
players speak out even more, bruv. Like, have a hard stance and say, yeah, we're calling out you organizations. Like, if you lot don't want to do something about it, we're going to do something about it. If you come as a collective, something can be done.
Hmm.
So,
100%.
hey, that's that one. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And
Like and subscribe.
yeah, what he said, hit those buttons, get in the comments, and keep sharing, and we'll keep delivering. Thank you very much, people, for listening and watching. Joe, I am out.
Jacob, signing out.
Thank you for listening.